anything on here. Mine's on Do Not Disturb. Okay. Is that good? I'm going to hit the live button. Okay.
I think so. I don't know. I'm going to put a filter on us. Okay. Are we going?
We're back. Week 2. Okay. We're live everywhere. Oh, we've got Instagram Live, podcast, and Facebook Live.
Tag me.
I did.
Okay.
This is serious.
We are professionals.
I feel like it was way easier to hit the go live button this time.
Much easier.
Yeah.
Even if we don't have a good plan.
Yeah, agreed. Oh my gosh. It is hot, you guys, where we're doing this. Like really hot, but it'll be good. Going off because this is serious. First of all, Liv, kudos, cheers, all of the things to Darlene Smith.
Yeah.
Yay. Hamlin County Districts 3 and 4. She beat out the long-time incumbent. Okay, he's been there since I was in school, you guys.
I said 26 years.
At least. I feel like at least.
26 years.
So that's amazing. Like we talked about last week, we need people, fresh ideas, fresh spirit, teachers,
people that have actually worked in the classroom.
and she checks all the boxes. So Darlene Smith, we're so excited for you. This
Really
is
excited.
fantastic. But in a sort of negative, we have to talk about the numbers. Okay, we don't have all of the numbers from all of the races. For race alone. So District
race.
3 and 4.
I don't know what that covers.
Well, it's Hillcrest, Lincoln, the middle of town area. Like it's a really populated area.
Yeah.
Okay. And there were, what did we say? 77 votes
Total.
for the entire race. So all race. Like that's early voting. And also,
Did you say early?
Okay.
121.
21. I think early voting was 121. And then we had, what was that?
Well,
2 and change. 200 and something people came out yesterday and voted. Guys,
Yeah.
this is why these numbers are so important. Because keep saying this. Anybody who wants to run, whether that's Republican, Democrat, Independent,
win if you really put some light work.
it's knock on some doors. This is not difficult to overturn again.
And remember, Hamlin County is 60,000.
Yes.
And I looked at the numbers the other day. 10,000 are school aged.
So that
County
okay.
schools, their totals were like 10,000 and some change of children registered in
Okay.
Hamlin County schools. I know there's homeschoolers in
Sure.
but if you take those kids out, that means there's 40,
Even be generous.
What?
Give like 35,000.
35,000 because there's probably some felons.
Yes.
And there's some, people that can't vote or whatever. 35,000 people that should be voting in Hamlin County.
And we had
And she won by 227 votes with a total of 377 votes.
oh my God. So frustrating.
Rick Eldridge was running almost all of Hamlin County and Granger County, and his totals were a little over 3,000 voters.
But that's crazy, guys. That's Hamlin
Hamlin
County and Granger County, and he had that many votes. Like
That's like
limited. That's
I have more than that on my social media.
same.
Yeah.
Same.
So like what?
This is the problem we're going to run into, you guys, because as the people that are in these elected positions continue to get older, whether they retire or whatever, then we have nobody stepping up to fill these spots. And then on top of that, we have nobody actually voting. And we have nobody registering. And then nobody is definitely turning out to vote. That is the problem. And this is why you have issues now in Knoxville and Johnson City where their school boards and their county commissioners and they are so liberal is because they've been able to easily infiltrate them.
During 2020, that in Knoxville, health
Yes.
board or whatever, if people had gone out and voted, none of those people would have been there. And they made all of the decisions because they were given that from the governor and they were making all those decisions.
It's so bad. We're working on a plan, but we have got to get people out to vote, you guys. This is wild.
Way back, you only got to vote on voting day. And
Okay.
I understand that sometimes is a challenge if you work an hour away or whatever.
Early
Of
voting.
early voting that you can just pop into the courthouse. There's never a line ever. I've voted I've never missed voting one time, but I've almost never missed voting, and I've always voted at the courthouse because we lived across the street.
Yeah. Well, I did yesterday, and I was in and out in less than 5 minutes.
So in November, that one is always a little bit more because it's going to be an actual residential. But maybe not. Only 3,000 people are showing up. They're not, obviously not worried about their kids.
On another positive, like bumping up to date,
Yeah.
Diana Harshberger's son, Bobby Harshberger, beat out longtime incumbent for the senator position of Tennessee.
So great.
That was huge.
Yeah.
And he even got, Trump shouted him out,
I think he did. Yeah.
today or last night. And what did Trump also say?
Trump also called Bill Lee a rhino, which I have been saying since day one.
And now there is matter of fact proof for that because I want to say there was not that many states that took the money coming from the climate change bill.
Yeah.
But for some wild reason, Governor Bill Lee decided to take that for Tennessee, which
Why?
is very strange. So we have got to do something about that. I mean, we are making changes. Like he did get in. I mean, Bobby's a super conservative.
It looks like I think seven conservatives beat out rhinos.
Yeah,
in last night's election across the country.
I like
But
it.
some did not. Some are still in there that we are going to have to deal with. The people that took money from out of state PAC.
Yes, that was huge because you had millions and millions of dollars being funneled into our state.
Yeah.
Which, how do you combat that? Again, especially if nobody's getting out to vote.
Yeah. So this is so important. If you have kids that are coming up to the age, you've got to get that importance in there.
Like my 8.5-year-old was begging to go with me yesterday.
And always gone with me to vote.
Yes.
It's just so important.
Oh my gosh.
I saw my daughter posted a picture yesterday of her going to vote. And she's like, here's my sticker, Mom. I can get my Christmas gifts.
See? I mean, I'm definitely going to have to start doing that when my kids get older.
You don't get Christmas gifts.
I like it. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, this is huge. But first of all,
where we going?
What did I say? The other day after we finished the first live, I said to Kelly, like, I honestly don't know if there's going to be that much that happens in a week that we would have to chat about, you know, like in a solid amount of time span. Joke's on me. Joke's on me.
I mean, this is Friday, so that was last Friday. We left the podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
Went home and opening of the Olympics. I mean, it was like within an hour we had content.
Oh, here's a story. Yeah. Okay. So let's start from the beginning of the Olympics because that is a huge topic for a lot of people. It's been blasted out on social media everywhere. Opening ceremonies. Okay, I'm going to disclaimer this because, there's back and forth. Is it depiction of the Last Supper? Is it some Greek mythology, Greek story, whatever? Here's my thought. You can call it whatever you want. You can say there's no Christianity in there at all. You can go that far. Bottom line, when you have half naked men and women, transgenders, a throuple, all of the things on live TV that
your children are watching,
number one, and also children there were taking part in, they were participating with these adults.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, this became down to a moral issue. I don't think it was a Christianity thing.
Yeah.
Because there are so many religions that none of that would have been okay with.
Yeah. Along with Christianity.
I mean, the Muslims would not have been okay with it. Across the board, this was a moral decay.
Yeah. And I think, you know, our pastor at church said, listen, use your own discernment. If you want to watch, nobody's faulting you. If you don't want to watch, nobody's faulting you. Personally, I am going to support the Olympics and the Olympians from our country.
I would go against the Olympic Committee. But I'm never going to go against the Olympians. They have worked their tail off to get there and they had nothing to do with it.
Correct. So, but I mean, even so you've had that, which was first, which is bad enough. Right. And then I'm like, okay, push this out. The kids didn't see it. I did it.
They say that they can say it wasn't the Lord's Supper and all that, but then why did they retract and come back and apologize?
Ooh, that's true.
If it was just the Greek depiction like everyone is saying, then they had no reason to apologize.
And Paris and the Olympic Committee were scrubbing YouTube from all of the videos claiming copyright issues. And I'm like,
I don't want to see men's private parts on national television sitting with my children. I don't want to see that.
I want to see it anyway.
Yes, I want to see it as an adult. It wasn't appropriate.
No.
So,
and then, I'm like, we're still going to move on.
Yeah.
We're supporting our Olympians. And then yesterday happened. And I just saw red. When I read the article and then also watch the video with the Italian female boxer, Angela Carini, fighting the person with XY chromosomes, male, yeah, on the Algeria side boxer, I was done. Yeah. Like, so done with the Olympic Committee and how they have treated, degraded our female athletes. You know, when she's over here saying, like, I've never been punched that hard before my entire career, she was sobbing because she could not continue. Like, she's just such a disappointment. You worked so hard to get there. She earned that spot legitimately. But then also, for her to survive, like, she literally stepped out of the ring. So she didn't die. I mean, what is happening? And again, it's in step and lock with our current administration is okay with this, but we have no women's sports now. Now we blur the lines. It's just crazy to me because to me the liberals are the feminists. I think they have a definition. Well, did you see any liberals, anybody from the left condemning one at all? Not one. Actually, I went to the sites. I always go and look at the comments in more liberal sites like the Today Show, People Magazine to see that, and all of them were defending him like, well, he's not really a male and he's not. And I'm like, okay, and let's clarify too. We don't have 100% clarification on this. However, we've tried to find. We have dug, and this same boxer, the 2023 International Boxing Association, prohibited him from competing because he didn't pass the test, whatever test that they gave him. And mind you, whatever test they gave him was not a testosterone test. It was but it still clarified that he had advantages. Yes, over female boxers. Yes. Female boxers. Yeah. And then the IAB, International Association of Boxing, went on to tell other news outlets that he had all of the characteristics of a person with XY chromosomes, i.e. a man. So I just don't even understand. He was not allowed to. That would be the same as saying Simone Biles can compete in the Olympics today, but she couldn't compete at the World. Right. How does that make any sense? Doesn't make any sense. Well, and here's my thing. If it's not true, which we went to credible sites, we deep dived in as many as we could. Yeah. If it's not true, why is the country not defending themselves? It's showing Algeria. I mean, standing up and saying, signing up our children for baseball, right, without bringing a birth certificate. Yes. And verifying that they legitimately can do this. Correct. So why isn't the Olympic Committee or that country, all they have to do is release a statement. With here's the proof that they were born, a female, whether they've done other things, whatever. And then how is that not different than taking steroids? Which is also illegal, right? If it's a female, I'm saying if they're a female, and now they've got all these advantages because the only way to get that would be steroids. Or Texas. It would be illegal. You can't compete with all of that in their system. So the whole thing is just, yes. No. But again, it goes back to the moral decline of the Olympic Committee. Because then you watch the Dutch. Please share this story. Dutch volleyball player, his name is Steven Vanderveld, 6 years ago, flew to Great Britain, a 12-year-old. Came back to the Netherlands, was charged and convicted in a court of this crime. Is literally a registered sex offender, all of the things. Pedophile. Yes. The judge actually said from the bench, this will ruin your career. You will never compete again. And he is flipping at the Olympics, competing on the volleyball. And he has special treatment. He doesn't have to be in the Olympic Village. He doesn't have to eat with them. He doesn't have to room with his. I would assume that he wouldn't even be allowed. He's exit any place where the news and the people, the media. Thank you. Okay. Because they fear that he would be unalived. And I'm like, or maybe even. Why is he getting to compete? I'm thinking, if you're a felon, you don't get to ever vote again. He is a convicted. You lose rights. Let alone you get to go and compete. And who would want victory? Well, again, we go back to moral decline and go look at how the Netherlands. Tell me the Netherlands has no other good volleyball player. They're giant. Substitute one. Yeah. One, leave the pedophile at home.
It's in
So-
what is that saying to that poor 12-year-old? I mean, she's not 12 anymore now; she's an adult. But
Yeah.
what is that saying to her?
The
Victim, the actual victim that she
Yeah.
gets to turn on her TV and see her abuser
No.
competing for an Olympic gold. I'd be refusing to. He got booed when he came out and introduced. The entire stadium booed him.
He should get booed.
He has a partner that wants to play volleyball with him, unless it's not a choice. Like, you want to go to the Olympics, is this your option? I don't know.
Again, moral decline. Moral decline. Where is your draw the line at this point? I mean, truly.
So that's the Olympics in a nutshell.
Yes, that man.
There's a lot.
I will give a positive.
There's a lot of positive.
There's a lot of positive.
Yeah.
Especially from us, the US, we're racking up.
We're racking up watching.
But the girls, man, the girls
Girls,
gymnastics, they killed it.
the swimming. I
Even
mean,
men.
yeah.
And okay, this is what I do love about the Olympics. Look at the U.S. men's Olympic team. Because I don't like the whole identity politics, identity Olympics. I cannot stand that. But I do love, I can't remember what actual news outlet did put it out in a positive way, where they said, look at the men's team. You've got this rodeo cowboy from Georgia who couldn't walk a year ago, was on the team. You've got a nerd, is it Minnesota, who solves Rubik's Cubes before he goes out and competes. And sleeps. You do have this awesome kid, this black kid who is legit, if you look at his social media,
It's phenomenal.
he's making gymnastics great again.
Like the ultimate hype.
Yeah.
I mean, his mom has died, but he is like,
The guy from Georgia.
Yeah.
And then the other guy is a first generation American. His parents are fluent.
yeah.
That is what I do when you think
those
about
stories.
Olympics and us in our country. All together, I love that.
Yeah.
Also, one other thing about the Olympics. Did you see the random story about the I'd asked Turkey, the guy from Turkey?
For a minute, why the United States, we are known for our guns. Why we lost?
Yeah, well, if you have a guy that you're competing with like that, he had no ear protection.
That have been hunting for a long time that could have gone
Yeah.
there, and it does better with all the fancy equipment.
Yeah.
I saw that one guy. He's like, you have to take it out of the classroom once in a while, y'all. What are we doing?
God.
I was like, this is true.
Okay.
This is true. I don't know what America's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know that we should, be picked on all the time for our gun control and our guns and all that when we couldn't even win in the Olympics.
See, that one guy though from Turkey was
Funny with his hands in his pocket the whole time.
just chilling. Watch me do this.
Yeah.
It was so good. Okay, let's shift gears for a minute.
Shifting gears.
Okay, because that was what? Friday, Saturday, let's even say Sunday.
Where are we going?
Was Kamala's Atlanta rally Monday? It's been in the last couple days.
Yeah, it probably was Monday.
Oh.
I don't know. It might have been Tuesday.
I swear to you, every day there's a new world event.
Yeah.
Really bad
Every
that
day.
happens. Something just bananas.
All right. So Kamala.
When you are running to be the president of the United States of America, and you think about what is going to bring this country together, who you want to represent you, what you want to be thought of when somebody goes to cast their vote. I am not sure. And listen, I don't know. If it was me, I don't think I would want Megan the Stallion rapping those horrible lyrics.
That's to me. I don't even care that
And
it's making she could have done any song. She didn't have to
Yeah.
have her music.
She could have seen God Bless the U.S.
Yeah. There's so many songs. There's there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that to me, I was like, this got to be shut off. Like, I'm not listening to those lyrics.
You've got
I was going to print them, and I thought, I'm not reading those. I can't read
blank,
these
blank,
lyrics.
blankety, blank, blank.
Yeah. People tweet on stage before, but they were in a paint. They were painting. It just makes us the laughing stock. And I get it. Some people are probably thinking like we all had Hulk Hogan. I get it. It's in our opener.
I think it's the message.
It is the message. They still, even Kid Rock, it still wasn't a patriotic American message.
Come together no matter what your background.
It was still that message, and that message did not translate with Megan Thee Stallion.
No, I didn't get it. She didn't give some rally the troops, bring them together speech and then sang her song.
No, then it wasn't a church. It was a presidential rally.
So
There just has to be a
that's
little bit of,
hard for me to swallow because when you have things like that, and then also, do you want to share about Kamala and Wikipedia and her background and all the things?
we talked about how we were going to do on the board. We were going to do the
Like policies. Compare Trump and Vance to hers.
to her policy just with their record. Obviously, we have a great record of Trump because
He's already been president.
so we have that. And so I went online yesterday and I'm like, well, I'm going to Google Kamala policies because I really don't. I mean, I see snippets, but I'm like, really want to see
like written down legit policy.
Wikipedia, which I know Wikipedia, that's people are editing that, whatever. It's been edited over 408 times in the last 3 weeks, removing all, it's scrubbed all controversial information, including her tough on crime record, her decision not to prosecute certain people, like it's gone.
Also, I couldn't even find like good stuff. I couldn't. Yeah. So, I mean, Joe Rogan said on his podcast. My goodness. Okay. Thought that was off. Okay, let's not have that happen again. There we go. Okay, technical error here, friends. There we go. Joe Rogan said on his podcast yesterday, go and look for a negative story of Kamala.
I did.
And you can't.
I was watching the Olympics last night during that horrible storm. Just Google, Google like different words like Attorney General, California, like all the words.
And this is even a step further, taking words from Joe Rogan and said, okay, 2.5 weeks ago, when Biden was still the candidate for the Democratic Party, nobody liked Kamala.
Nobody.
Everybody had claimed multiple times she's the worst VP we've ever had. They never even see her on the news ever. Like,
her word
salad. All of that negative to now all of a sudden she's falling at her feet. They love her. She's gonna save the country.
It went back to big name people who had been posting all her stuff before they scrubbed it. Okay. And that's how I had to get information of like headlines from 2020, headlines from this year, all these headlines that thankfully screenshotting, thankfully these people, they must have like massive servers of just screenshots. They have to have like, I know, I'm like
a whole tape. And then on the flip side, you've got Trump who
television in the face is it.
Yeah.
And now they scrub it.
Yes. Now, and Facebook, they did Meta put an error.
They apologized.
So at first they were like fact checking the picture of him standing up after he was shot, like misinformation. Maybe this isn't real.
Yes, I were watching live, so
yeah. And then Zuckerberg came out, he retracted it, said it was an error. If you go on Google, no joke, you guys can literally do this in real time right now. If you go on Google and you start typing out presidential assassination attempt, just like nothing.
Truman.
It's Truman.
Truman comes up.
Harry Truman comes up. Not Trump. No, he does not come up. Even if you just type in, isn't it President Trump? If you start to nothing.
Now, since they apologized, has that changed? Because I didn't do it again.
If it's not changed since yesterday on Google. So
I just
meddle. Even the media, and I did read a quote where it said, this election will be won in the media. Oh, Ben Carson said it. Ben Carson said it on Tucker. He said, this is going to be a true test of the media to take the horrible last 4 years of Kamala. They've now done a 360, totally spun her out to be the savior, and they're just dishing it out in God.
And I'm just like, are people that mentally challenged that they don't remember that?
Again,
it's this one. I just do not even understand it.
It's like you have to have personal responsibility. I said this last week. You know what? If you grew up and that's your thing that you watch CNN, whatever. Same thing with Fox. Like you pull yourself out.
Yeah.
And use your personal responsibility and do your own research. It is not difficult. We need 2024.
It's all there.
Yes. All you
have to do the biggest.
No.
The ones that are always like, they always go like Trump is a racist. And they pull out that one thing about him saying about the white supremacist thing. That one little clip. But if you actually look at the actual clip, that's all you have to do is like Google legit the whole recording, and you'll see that that's not what he said at all.
Well, it's the same soundbite that we put on. We're putting on like Trump and JD Vance are weird. Like, you'll hear it a million times already.
That's the buzzword.
And
Or transgender.
yes, don't know what a woman is, all of the things, but there's no balance, right? Like, we have Trump and Vance going out doing interviews. They are actively at different places answering questions,
And they will go on
constantly.
CNN.
They will go everywhere. Yeah. Live, huge thing,
Yeah.
not pre-recorded. They will go anywhere live. I dare you, I challenge you to find in the last few weeks or further out. Kamala,
Even Biden.
you
I just
Biden.
don't think.
No, nowhere is she going to do sit-down interviews. If she can't, then she can't. Let her. No.
She cannot do a complete sentence.
Yes. Yes.
So,
I mean, I think that pulls us straight back into policy because
I saw an interview with her today, this morning, and she was talking about how she, when I wrote it down, maybe about how she's allowing for them to do the transgender surgeries to prisoners.
okay, so that's when she was attorney general, right?
Okay, but when
She's gonna bring it
it got back up.
Okay.
So I'm like, again, just like the Dutch, there are consequences. You're in jail.
correct.
Consequences.
There are rights and freedoms and liberties.
Yes,
You're a Sutherland.
then yes, maybe we're going to treat that. Or you have the flu, maybe we're going to give you, or a headache.
Yeah,
I get that we have to still treat them humanely.
correct.
But extras?
No.
Does that mean that people that don't go to jail can, get another job?
That's what I'm saying. Do you get to go like because you just want
You just want them and you're going to cover it? To me, this is a want.
I'm gonna kill myself if I don't get the notice.
Roof over their head, food and water.
That's it. Correct. That's it. But now they're gonna take away again. So
Where's the money coming from? Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely coming from us and you.
Yeah. And then when they do that surgery, then does that mean that man now gets to go to the women's prison?
I mean, it's bananas. Like,
So we're changing that. We're killing babies.
I mean, yes, and okay, this is what we were talking about all last week and today. This is not, and I don't know how many ways, forwards, backwards, all of the things, ways that I can say it. This is not a vote. This is not a campaign on the person running. This is actually not about Kamala Harris. This is not about JD Vance. This is not about Donald J. Trump. This is
identity politics,
no,
right?
nothing. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you're a woman. I honestly don't care.
I don't care if
what
you're black
you
or
are.
white. I don't care.
It does not matter. This, especially this election, has to be voted on policy.
Period.
That's it.
That's it.
So let's look at that, right? First thing she talks about is, and this is just a starting point, is she wants to ban assault weapons.
She said, and if the Senate doesn't act,
She will,
within the first 100 days,
executive order.
she's doing an executive order to confiscate all guns.
And she is going to start up red flag laws again. I mean, there was like multiple things she was talking about with the guns.
that they would just put that out there. To me, that would be a red flag. Like, I want to get voted in and roll out.
Yeah.
No, she's just flat out saying it now.
Also, friends, do you know why? I mean, obviously the Second Amendment, but why we don't want our guns taken away? Would you like to tell them about Venezuela?
I'm I mean,
For them right now.
Venezuela in the last 11 years pretty much became a socialist country.
Under a dictator.
But they didn't get their guns taken away, which is why this saves them.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure of the details of that.
I don't either. Like
But specifics.
But this election
Was this last week?
yes, polling stations, they stopped allowing people to go in and cast their vote. And if you look at, we'll have to put it in the notes too. If you look at the votes, it's like the chart. She looks very familiar, by the way.
Identical to another voting thing where it's like, and then it's straight up,
And then over.
and they won.
Yeah.
And the people
revolted.
And they
Venezuela.
revolted, and the military and the police they didn't know what to do, so they were doing their job. And then all of a
They were
sudden,
trying to like just keep the peace.
all of a sudden, they were like, "Wait a minute, no!" And
This
they
is fair.
changed, and they joined the people, revolted, and ran the dictator out of the country.
Huge, you guys. This is such big news.
And the crazy thing is, he did an interview, the dictator,
Yeah.
claiming that he won But he said, and it was very hard to understand because it was his language. They were trying to translate it.
Yeah.
It wasn't translating right.
Yeah.
But he essentially said, well, the United States did this and the cheater is in office, so I can do the same. I would listen to it 3 times because I thought, that can't be right. Legit saying, I was saying for the United States.
If they can do it, we can do it.
And as of last night, the United States has recognized that the new guy,
From the Conservative Party,
he is the president.
like we are claiming.
We are
and
backing him that
Yes.
he's
Yeah. So,
But if they had if Venezuela's guns had been taken, if they had hit that point of socialism,
Yeah.
the guns were taken,
It
would not
never-
have been able to do this,
No
and
way.
that country would be destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Destroyed.
you have moms, like, to watch the footage coming out of this country, moms are walking 4 miles one way with their children to get their ration. There's no
food.
grocery store. It's not
Everything has been
taken.
taken away from them.
Yeah.
They only get their little. It's not like World War One situation here.
Yeah.
Here's your little basket. You get one of these and one of these and one of these. Now walk 4 hours home.
I can't imagine.
No, but we're headed that way.
Well, we are, because obviously, let's take the guns. That's first on the list.
And everyone knows to become a socialist country is the first thing you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to take the guns.
Because then they have no way to fight back, so to speak. Or not even fight back, but just like to protect yourself, from them taking anything else.
Yeah.
The next thing that she's talked about, this freaking Green New Deal, I cannot ban offshore drilling,
All fossil fuels stop.
you guys.
And she said she'll ban or stop the filibuster, which is in place now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Like, why do we want to give all of our jobs away? Give our fossil and resources that we have in our country that, mind you, they're free. Did you hear that word? They're free.
But I mean, we hope that no other country turns on us and takes away our oil or our gas.
Okay, and that's the other part, right? Like, so typically we're the superpower. People are asking for things from us, and we tax them before we give it to them, right? So we upcharge them, tax them, put a tariff on it, whatever. That's what they do to us. So we go to the Middle East and take that and hold it, and then to rely on us.
And then all those jobs are gone. So what are all those people going to do? That's their living. That's their heritage. That's how that's been passed down for years.
Again, if you're a Democrat,
Let's see.
I need to know what the justification is for you to vote for her under that policy.
Right.
Why would you do that for that policy?
Yeah.
Especially where the state of our economy is right now.
We can't even afford anything, and now we're going to hand it over to someone else to charge us more.
Yes.
And they can do the whole, we're going to go electric and all that kind of stuff. Watch California, that doesn't work. No, I mean, 3 days a week, California has no power. It's
And also, I'll like put my tinfoil hat on for a second, just for a second. My conspiracy
Mine never comes
hat.
off.
Yeah. We say, Brian and I joke about this all the time. He's like, I'm going to get a Tesla. I'm going to get an electric car. Okay, whatever. But when the government decides to hit that little button, you're off, and turn your car off, unless you vote the way you do, unless you give more money, unless the rest of our status and banking and everything add up, we're screwed. Yeah. So I will take my nice gas-powered minivan to the gas tank all day long. Like, all day long, seriously. Because, again, that's just something that is giving more control
Nothing
over to the
electric
government.
car.
It's great and saves money and the environment.
But I don't
That's
think it saves the environment, really.
Think of how they're really, let's be realistic. That's not why they want you to have an electric car.
No,
That's not why they want you.
They want the control. And the only way to have control is by have something like that.
Same. Again, and this is flipping the opposite side, what they have no control over are our freaking open borders. It's just like, it's the wild, wild west if you go there. Again, Kamala has never been to the border. She's been to El Paso. You guys, FYI, that's not the border. That's not Eagle Pass. That is not on the border. Okay, that's not where any of the issues, or the majority, I should say, are taking place. Yes. And
The photo op.
It is a photo op. And so here we have free reign.
And they did an interview with the border, the head guy of the border
Patrol.
I guess border patrol.
Yes.
And he's like, we've never met her.
No, ever. And the entire, is it like Border Patrol Association?
Yeah, that's probably
okay. They have come
met.
out. They back Trump fully, Trump and JD Vance.
Well, their job is so dangerous and miserable.
Yes, and their hands are tied.
Yeah.
At this point, there's no wall being built currently. And so they have no jurisdiction.
Yeah.
They have no support. Even if they detain these people, what are we doing? They just have to let them go through. And then when they come through, they are allowed every single thing that you and I have worked our butts off for.
I mean, I saw Newsom is now making, he's a sanctuary city, and now he's sending them out to other states because they're too overrun. They don't have enough resources.
Well, it's the same thing as Eric Adams in New York City.
We don't have enough resources for this. We should have thought of that before you became a sanctuary city.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like when you look, Eric Adams in New York City, even in Washington, D.C., they are giving them 5-star hotel rooms to stay. Yeah, here, have at it. Live your life.
And the only reason they're doing that is for the voting numbers and for the census. If they come in and they see that there's this many people in this area, then they're going to get more of the electoral.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Yeah,
Electoral vote.
I was like, yeah, words are hard today. That's the only reason they want to up that, because if they up that, then they become a bigger swing state or whatever.
Yes.
And they
have more leverage.
They have more leverage, and they're a better chance of winning Democratic.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with they want to help people. They want to help themselves.
And also, I don't think, well, I know the media does not portray, they portray this like these moms and children. What we're talking about. I promise, go down there. Look for a fact. It is middle-aged men of fighting age. They are coming in droves from the Middle East. It is Yemen. It's Egypt, it's Afghanistan, and also China. I mean, the amount of men that are coming over, and also men with children. And I want you to just think about that for a second. Does that make any sense to you at all? Men, middle-aged men with children. Like, do we need to read in between the lines? That is child trafficking, point blank. That is what that is. Plain and simple. I promise you, it is child trafficking. The numbers of child trafficking have skyrocketed. So that's number one, just like another issue with the open border. And then again, fentanyl. And people in general in the country today
For a drug that should not even be across. It is not made here. Correct. It is made down south. It is not made.
And it turns out it's made in China.
Yeah.
And then they're using the hotels
to bring it over.
And so it's so crazy because now, used to, if you'd walk down the road, or if you're in a gas station or parking lot and you saw a quarter or whatever, you just pick it up, throw it in your pocket.
My good friend picked up $1. It ended up with fentanyl, and they had to call the EMS.
That'd be insane.
She picked up $1. She thought it fell out of her car. It was at a car wash. She picked it up, and then her hand got numb. She's like, "What's wrong with my hand?" She's EMS. She knew exactly what it was.
Thank God she knew to call. Or she would be dead. Saw a nickel or whatever it was in the Walmart parking lot the other day, and I lost my mind. I was like,
do not touch that. Do not live in a generation where you would never leave a penny. That you're never too rich to pick up a penny ever.
Let alone a dollar bill or anything else.
There's probably people on here thinking fentanyl, that doesn't affect us. My child goes to public school here in Hamlin County.
Yeah.
And give that. And at the end of the school year, they had to send the police in. They had traces of fentanyl poisoning in that at the school.
Our Hamlin County bubble.
Yes, Hamlin County bubble. Fentanyl was the thing. They had to send the police in and do training with all of the children. They had to watch videos. They had to show them the dangers of it, because they had 12 incidences.
Yeah.
Within middle and the high school.
Yeah.
So this was my 7th grader had to go through this training about the dangers of fentanyl. They sent it to the parents to watch. They had to do, and then for 2 weeks, the dogs had to go through that school every day.
And they changed the cell phone policy.
Oops, I guess I just gave a thumbs up.
Oh, that's
thumbs down. So you can't be like, well, that doesn't affect us. That's in a big city, or that's down at the border. No, this is here in Little Hamlin County.
Yeah, the trickle-down effect has officially reached, I call it my Hamlin County bubble.
Yeah,
because I want to stay in my Hamlin County bubble, but unfortunately,
and it's such a little amount that will kill you with fentanyl.
I think they said the top of a pinhead.
Yeah,
is what you can overdose on.
And you get kids that are in homes with that, and then they bring something to school. It's scary.
It is so sad.
It's scary.
And all of that mustered in by the cartels. And for each season, the cartels are getting so rich. So from our open border, I can't even call it a policy because it's a zero policy. My book. And then if you are an illegal immigrant and you come through, and again, Kamala has said she will continue to offer health care, to offer housing, financial, whatever. She wants to the and then, cash bails and immigration bonds for those who can't afford it. So in the off chance that they do get caught,
She will pay to so that they don't have to sit in jail because it's not fair that they don't have the money to bail themselves out.
make it make sense.
I was like, again, consequences. You know, when they were building the jail here, I was super anti the jail here.
Yeah.
And they're like, but our jail's so terrible and they're sleeping. And I'm like, then maybe they shouldn't go back to jail. Like, this should be a wake up call. This isn't done. I have to lay on the floor on a cot. We're getting sick and whatever. I don't care. There are consequences for breaking the law. Go to jail and it shouldn't be bougie.
Love that.
And that's the same. It is. They should, if they are going to be illegal, illegally cross into our border. We could not cross into Canada.
Oh my gosh, have you ever gone to Canada?
I went to Ecuador. It's an easy process.
No.
And they ask you a bunch of questions and you're scared to death.
Yes.
You're not just crossing into any other country.
No, it's the same with Canada. I mean, you stop
the Ukraine, Russia,
right.
It's all because of borders.
Yes.
But we want ours to make this make sense.
I can't. And speaking of immigration, illegal immigrants going to jail, again, this just goes back into her lack of jail policies.
Yep.
And her lack, it's so weird. It's so weird because now she wants to say lax policies on marijuana use and all these things. But back when she was in California, she imprisoned the most amount of American males, right? It was crazy. And do you know why she did that? Do you know why she wanted to imprison all of those men and women for those minor crimes? Free labor, my friend.
Even when the Supreme Court told her she had to release them, she held on to them for like months later before she actually did it because it was free labor.
Yeah. I mean, it's bananas.
She also wants to change it now once they close the border.
Okay.
Make it where it's not illegal. It's just a civil offense. If you cross the border, it's just a civil offense instead of
So again, that means there's no ramifications at all. So whatever, I'm an illegal immigrant. I'm just going to keep doing what I do.
Yeah. She also wants socialized medical care. That's what she was her.
Yes, it was. Yes, love that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, and talking about also issue and topic of health care. I personally do not consider abortion health care. No.
Again, it's an extra.
Yes. And so here she is alone. And I will say this as far as if you're a Christian and a Catholic, because I think that those two for sure.
And a Muslim. I mean,
yes,
there's a lot.
There's a lot. But definitely speaking of her radical abortion policies, she full term
3 days after.
3 days after. Let me explain what that means. That means if you have a 9-month baby in the mom's belly and wants to have an abortion, number one, that mom can have an abortion, can kill the baby, attempt to kill this baby. If it is what's called a botched abortion, if this baby is actually miraculously born, they tried to kill the baby lived, they allow up to 3 days after that baby has still been alive after the botched abortion, that you can then again kill the baby.
I don't know who
this is. This is fact. This is not like we're just spewing this and making this up. So I don't know, as a Christian or whatever, or even just call it like morals and values, how you can vote for her based on that policy of killing full-term babies. It is mind-blowing.
Not want to be my maker.
No, I do not want to answer to Jesus and say that I was okay with that one by any stretch.
And I'm going to go on here and just say it. If you are a Christian, claim to be a Christian or a Catholic, and you vote Democratic, you better get on your knees. I mean, you cannot claim to be a Christian, claim to be a Catholic, and vote.
I don't know where your morals and ethics lie or lack thereof, if that is the case.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you could do that and like be okay with yourself
Yeah,
and also have to answer to Jesus at some point. That's for sure.
She questioned. You see JD Vance when he got all huffy because she questioned his
Oh yeah, loyalty and to like American patriotism.
and he's like, I was a
and shut a Marine. Yeah, not just a Marine. 9/11 happened. And like so many others who felt so strongly about their love and protecting our country signed up for the military.
I don't think you can question the loyalty to America to any veteran.
No,
that is still within the right, like
no,
that.
absolutely not.
You can say a lot of things. You want to pick on him for his cat lady,
Whatever. Yeah.
But you don't question the loyalty. You don't have open borders and question the loyalty of our military.
Yes. Because that's no protection at all for the actual American citizen.
And we could almost go as far as saying that if there was a revolt, our military's not going to back her.
I pray that God forbid it ever came to that. I pray it would be the case.
I can't imagine.
I've seen crazy stuff
too. But I mean, look at Venezuela. They bring me over. They give me
That's true. Yeah.
I mean,
They totally said enough was enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, what was the other one? We talked about abortion, the Minnesota Freedom Fund. Okay, that she also used the Minnesota Freedom Fund back a few years ago when we had the BLM riots.
Yeah. Are you guys aware of what the Minnesota Freedom Fund is?
Yeah, you want to share about it?
I didn't know what that was. I feel like this information is coming way too fast for me to.
There's so much. I feel like our brains are being.
But it's a donation site, like a fundraising site.
Yeah.
That money goes to post cash bails and immigration board bails.
Yeah.
So it's paying to get them out of prison when they're sent there.
Yeah.
And she pushes hard for her people to donate. If they're backing her to also donate to the fund.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And so when the BLM riots were happening, and they were burning cities to the ground, and these people were being obviously put in jail because they are not just protesting, but creating violence and burning cities down, she was taking money. They were using this Minnesota Freedom Fund money to get them out of jail.
So like that guy that did he kill or beat up that police officer in New York City? This money would have gotten him out. And Minnesota Freedom Fund thinks this. I took this right off their website. It says we believe that our criminal justice system, like many other systems in our society, was designed to maintain and uphold white supremacy while prioritizing the wealth, power, and influence of the few at the expense of many.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And I'm like, you murder somebody, there's consequences. I don't care if you're white. It doesn't matter. I don't want any murderer walking the streets.
Correct.
If you come into our country illegally, I don't care what your nationality is, that's a crime.
Yes.
I don't care. I'm sorry you don't have money to get yourself out. You should have thought of that before you committed a crime.
Correct. It's so crazy to me, and it's literally bringing it back to race and gender every single time.
Because they say in there so that we can create a more inclusive society.
Like, and she's talking about the inclusivity, no matter just like what color you are. But now she's pushing the equity and equality thing too.
Yeah.
And that's the other issue is she's not saying, she's going a step further. And yes, we should all be equal. We should all be on an equal playing field, which I don't agree with personally. I think that people are in different situations and they have different struggles and they have to overcome different things. Now, some more than others. Yes. Like, it's unfortunate if you're dealt those cards. I personally am like a pick yourself up by your bootstraps kind of thing. And again, what's called personal responsibility. But she is wanting to take it a step further and not just say, we want everybody to be on an equal playing field, but she's saying everybody doesn't start in the same spot. So we need to like get everybody to start in the same spot. And that's where the inclusion, equality, equity comes in. She wants to give more money to certain groups to get them up to the certain playing field.
Just hold everybody accountable. Just personal responsibility. Just being.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are so many stories out there, people that came from nothing that rose to something amazing. Yeah. So is it hard? Of course it's hard, but that doesn't mean it's not doable.
Correct.
It means you have to work hard.
Yes.
You aren't going to get a handout.
Like everybody doesn't get one.
Yeah. That doesn't mean what everyone else is racist because you didn't get a handout.
Well, and speaking of, I thought we were trying to go and like bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Cut out like Let's vote for her because she's black.
Because of the DEI.
Yes.
We need to touch on that.
But now, when Kamala is pushing this white men for Harris, white women to Harris, you guys, this is crazy.
Who likes to be told to? Like that lady was talking. I watched this sucker. It's for the show here. I was like, I'm gonna poke his out with.
Okay, tell them about the Zoom call. Oh gosh,
Something really.
there was a name.
I don't know. It was really ridiculous.
Yeah,
But she,
give them the premise, like the gist.
the gist was they're all for Kamala, and she was like going to do a gentle parenting of how to deal with those that don't support Kamala.
Yeah,
And there was a lot of big names on there that I'm just like, but yeah, okay. But then the lady, her Instagram, it's like,
gosh,
I know this.
whatever. We'll have to post it, like,
Yeah.
so they can see it.
She does this gentle parenting, but it was all identity politics. Like every single thing had to do with how terrible the white people were. You know, just like, first of all, you're white. I'm not sure that you get, but also, what are we doing?
No, it makes no sense to me. I don't know. I watched the another Zoom call that they had, like
But the guy,
men white for Harris.
and that guy saying how he's
was right. Okay, you got the person that plays the voice of Olaf. The guy that plays Olaf. And he also plays in Beauty and the Beast, not Gaston, but like the Gaston's kid. I can't think of his name. He was on that call. Jeff Bridges was on this call, and it was like, I'm a white man and I'm voting for Harris. And then the guy that does the voice of Olaf,
and he was like, I cried over my daughter's bedside when Trump won. And I was like,
Trump lost.
when Trump
And Biden won. He was like so elated.
Yeah, I was just like, what is happening right now? What is happening right now? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
It's just way too
terrible.
much black, white, woman, men. Like it's just too
It's unnecessary, and I think that
it has to go to policy.
I want the person who is going to be the best for the.
Yes.
I do not care what you
use that on our
look like.
country for our children.
No, I care what you look like. If you're rich, if you're not, if you're white, black, brown, purple, a man, woman, or whatever you claim to be, I literally do not care. All I want is somebody who is going to fix our country
And not murder babies.
and keep us out of World War III.
Yeah.
There we go. Like, it's very simple.
And I
When
think
you look at it,
if people can just get back to that, we would have no arguing. This pitting
Yes.
against everybody, pitted against everybody else, when ultimately we all do want the same thing.
Yes.
We want peace in our country, peace in the world, and to be able to just live on our little stake of property.
Yeah.
And enjoy life. You know, here to our kids. Everyone wants that.
Yes.
How do we get there the quickest? We don't get it by pitting each other against everybody.
No, and I think that's what the left is kind of banking on. That's why they keep stirring this
And it's based on our polling numbers.
It's doable.
It's very doable.
Yeah.
For either one of these candidates
What?
to
Who
win
said it?
by a landslide.
Joe Rogan said it. Ben Carson said it.
You know, he's like, she can absolutely win.
She can win. I mean, this is the problem. She can win because, number one, she has the media on her side, which is huge, especially for people that still keep that up and they're not out of the media bubble.
They're just getting the live sound bites.
The people that get caught up in all of this race, city politics, baloney, they're so stuck in this whirlwind, can't like back up to see the big picture of what we're voting on. So they're going to vote for her. And then
College kids, because the colleges are all indoctrinated in all this race stuff and the justice stuff.
social justice.
Social justice.
Yes.
All wrapped up.
Yep.
When you go to colleges, everything is about social justice. Donate for this, advocate for that, and sign for this and all that. None of that has anything to do with these college kids.
Correct.
It doesn't affect their life one iota, but that's where they get them, and that's how they get that younging. They're going to focus on Taylor Swift, who's going to be up there during her tour telling you who to vote for, and they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because she can say, everybody do this, and they're going to do it.
Yeah, it's so true. And so with all of that, and then on top of that, they cheat. There's that. I mean, that's like the last check mark, like top it off, cherry on top. But then you've got a lack of voter turnout from conservatives and Republicans.
Because they're like, our vote doesn't count. Look what happened last time.
That. Or they're thinking it's like I told you earlier, it's like that psychology experiment. Back in the days, somebody in New York City was being assaulted on the street, and all these people are hearing it through their windows, seeing it, they're looking out. And guess who calls 911? Nobody, because they all said, somebody else is going to call. Somebody else will make sure she's okay. Somebody else is going to call it in. And nobody called it in. And it's the same thing with voting. People are like, my vote doesn't count. I can't do anything. There's plenty of other people that are going to go vote. I promise you, the left is banking on that. The left is wanting you to feel that way about your vote.
And I think of they incentivize getting a shot. So they're going to incentivize to get them out to vote. I mean, they're incentivizing illegals coming over the border. Yeah. You come over the border, vote this way, and we'll guarantee you get to stay here. It's all just, how can I incentivize? Here's the carrot. Yeah. But then what happens when she wins?
I personally don't think we can sustain another 4 years.
We can't. Financially, we can't sustain another 4 years. No. We are now in the trillion in debt. We can't. We are all at a breaking point.
Yeah. I mean,
I would say most Americans are probably 2 paychecks and everything.
Well, the amount of people that are in credit card debt, I think, has tripled. And groceries are giant astronomical prices. Gas is insane. And again, if you vote on policy, if you vote on the status of our economy right now, because she is part of this. She is the vice president. She's part of this.
Here's to compare her policy and what our country looks like and Trump's policy and what it looks like. This is not opinion at all. This is facts. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah. So I think all of these things to say, number one, you have to register
shirts that say policy matters or something.
Yeah. I like that. We need to come up with some slogans. Voting. You have to register to vote. You actually have to take it a step further and go out and vote. And I think it's important to use your voice and speak up, maybe not in the matter or to the extent that we do, but if somebody brings it up, you don't have to get into this Kamala, Trump, and whatever. You have to say, you have to vote on policy. It's very simple. You can keep it matter of fact. You look at the evidence.
You can go about voting on gas prices.
Yeah.
And look at you don't have to go deep dive. Me personally, I vote on one thing. Mm-hmm. Everything else falls in line after that. Yeah. But I vote based on abortion. That's where my vote is. Yeah. And then everything else falls after that. And it makes it super easy. Super easy when you vote like that.
Yes.
Morals matter.
The moral decline. We can wrap it up and say that's what we started saying at the beginning of the show, and now we're saying it again. And vote, especially in this election. And people need Jesus. We need a lot of Jesus.
Yeah.
A lot of Jesus and people to get out.
Well, voting and we gotta get peace because our country is.
Yeah, it's kind of scary right now. Dude, we covered it all. We did pretty good on time. And again, I know I'm gonna walk out of here and be like, there's not anything this week. But guarantee you we're gonna be touching base on Tuesday or Wednesday. We're saying
we have a Google Doc that we just jump in and write something down, something down so that we have it all.
It's craziness, you guys.
I wish we didn't have content
I wish we didn't. I wish the world was rainbows and roses.
Yeah.
And our economy was fantastic and babies weren't being killed and we were living our best lives. But we got to work on that. So here we are. Till next Friday.
Yeah. I haven't come up with a name yet.
We need to figure that out.
Yeah, maybe
we'll figure that one out
or something.
Ooh, that's a good idea. We'll put it up so they can vote on it.
Sure.
All right, friend. Till next time.
Weekend. Yeah. I never know how to shut this off. How do I shut this off? Shoot. There's no stop.
Do you hit that?
And
there you go.
Sure. That's so funny.
Here we go. Never delete.
Should I hashtag?
Yeah.
It was so.
This chair's wet.
Yeah. I was I kept wanting to cross my legs. I'm nope, I can't do this.
Oh, here we go. Let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, whatever.